This is me in Los Angeles. I used to watch this city on TV. All my life I wanted to come here and get immersed in the culture and make some hip friends. The locals are not too friendly. Then one day, while walking around downtown, I was approached by a smiling middle-aged woman who asked me where I was from. Finally, someone who was friendly. I told her I was from South Carolina, and she said she just happened to have a sister who would be going to school there. Would I be willing to meet her sister and give some info about SC? Sure. I accompanied her into her car and off we were to her home. Something was off to me, thinking maybe this wasn't the best of ideas. But I slapped my inane paranoia down and dismissed it as ridiculous. I would never meet the locals if I was paranoid and turned down offers of hospitality all the time. Thus, we entered her house. We had chatted for a bit. I talked about my volunteer work. We both talked about politics, the weather, etc., etc. It was a long, solid, and deep conversation. She offered me a glass of Los Angeles water, and I tried to decline, but she insisted. While waiting for the water, I had time to think about the name on the mailbox, which said Lee, and I wondered why there were so many pictures of an old Asian couple. Unfortunately, we learned from her husband that the sister was visiting a sick relative in the hospital at the time, and the visit was rendered a bit moot. I was about to say goodbye and leave, but the husband inquired. "You know how to play blackjack?" he said. "Yes, I do," I said. "Well, do you know how to win?" "Not really," I said. "Well, come on, I'll show you." He laid out the deck, explained how he'd been a casino worker for years, and proceeded to teach me a laughably obvious system where we could win. "You see," he said, "last night there was this rich businesswoman from Beverly Hills here, and we got to play dominoes. I will tell her I found her worthy opponent, but that your game is not dominoes, it's blackjack. You will win easily, and we will split the winnings 50-50. Deal? Here's your $200 for you to bet." Before I could even say, "Hell no," the businesswoman conveniently appeared. I found myself whirlwinded into the middle of a shady card game and a pawn in a scheme to supposedly swindle thousands of dollars off a rich lady. I didn't look at the guy, and ignored his wife's constant and slightly creepy enthusiasm. The deck was surely stacked. I can't remember the last time I was dealt such good hands. Both the businesswoman and the couple ignored what would usually be my right to end the game, and proceeded with what they emphasized would be the final round. Now, $23,000 for supposed money was in the pot. Before we would flip over the cards, however, the scam's punchline revealed itself. The businesswoman wanted to see $23,000 of my cash on the table. The guy said he would go fetch as much hard cash as he could, while I went with the wife to the ATM to withdraw as much cash as I could muster. Final red flags in my head went up, but an ATM trip represented an escape opportunity. During the car ride, I proceeded to explain to the wife how, while volunteering in Nepal, my host family introduced me to the art of Gurkha knifery. I nonchalantly BS'd how I had been taught how to use the knife to stab specific spiritual centers on the neck and could kill with a single blow. I also told her I kept the Nepali blade on me at all times. The wife, now noticeably scared, we exited the car and approached the ATM. I showed her my measly balance, and she realized I wasn't a good scamming target. She played the "my mother is dying of cancer" card. I called her bluff, and said that if I could visit her mother, I'd give her the $100. Not surprisingly, she wasn't in the mood to visit her mother at the moment, and, at long last, we parted ways. This incident removed my last shred of trust with the locals in this part of the world. I'm going to have to turn down any further invites into the local homes after this.